What's up guys, my name is Wong and we are back with another video. Today we are driving a very special car, and I know I say this about a lot of vehicles on the channel, however this particular car is something extraordinary. It's a car that I've had pinned on my bedroom wall for years and years, and it's a car that I fantasized about experiencing ever since the moment I saw it on Best Motoring, probably about 10 years ago. This is none other than this 2002 Nissan Skyline V-SPEC 2 NUR GTR. But this isn't just any ordinary GTR, this is the demo car from Mind's tuning house in Japan, and this car is completely done up, having been displayed through many different car meets from Mind's themselves, and then being brought to different racetracks, Tsukuba, Fuji Speedway. This is that car used for all of Mind's engineering into developing, as Tsuchiya's words, the ultimate GTR.
Tsuchiya following to have his turn in the cockpit.
フロント浮いてるよこれ。これは究極だよ。すげえなしかし。
This is the exact same vehicle. Wow! That left the workshop from Japan. It was imported directly to our shores here into Australia. And for me to experience and showcase this car on the channel truly is an absolute blessing. If you guys want to see epic car reviews and more automotive related content here on YouTube, consider subscribing to the channel, and let's get straight into it, shall we? Here we go. Wow! So this car was a vehicle built specifically to hone in on response, and Minds has truly built an absolutely exceptional car. This vehicle is sporting the full Minds Stage 2 RB26 built engine, and everything that you can possibly imagine done to this car has been enforced into this build of this Minds X demo car. I'll put the full list of the modifications in the description box below because it is extremely extensive. I've never seen a GTR done up to this caliber. Now, I've done a review on a standard R34 GTR, and if you want to see an in-depth review on how that car drives and handles and the whole experience behind that, please be sure to go check it out. However, this car is a completely different experience altogether. It was designed with performance in mind, and everything else is at the back burner because this is as focused as it gets. Wow. There's just so much acceleration when you get on this car. It picks up at about 3,000 RPM and it pulls right towards red line. It's pushing out 18 pounds of boost, and that's not a whole lot of power. It's running HKS 2530 turbochargers. But what Minds have done, really, there's just some sort of witchery and sorcery that they've done onto this engine that makes it so responsive. So right off the bat, you guys are probably going to ask me, what kind of powers is this GTR pushing? Because as we all know, these cars are very capable of making very big horsepower, and there are many builds around the world with 1,000+ horsepower. But this Minds GTR is truly different from all of those cars because it was built specifically for the track, for mountain runs, and for the spirited drive. So with all of that in mind, this Minds built RB26 Stage 2 GTR makes a grand total of 320 kilowatts at all four wheels. But it's not about the downright speed that this car has. It's about how this car delivers that response and that power delivery, because it truly is sensational. It's not a whole lot on paper, but wow, once you get this car on the right stretch of road, it really just comes alive, and it's just everything that you hope and want in a car. Every single opportunity you have to tuck it into a corner, this car just delivers another level of confidence that you have behind the wheel. Almost in some ways, you could say the R34 GTR is quite a boaty car from factory. However, this vehicle has honed in on the suspension as well, and it's got a really trick set of shocks, and the all-wheel drive system on it just makes everything just so sorted, and it just handles absolutely superbly. It handles the bumps very confidently, and you never feel like this car is going to throw you off the tarmac. When you're behind the wheel of this car, it allows you to experience the balance of the chassis. It really engages you into an experience that tells you exactly what this car is doing. You can really just putt around here in these twisties and feel really immersed with this Minds GTR. With some other builds that I've driven on this channel, you really have to find dedicated racetracks or drag strips to really experience what they have to offer. But in this GTR, I can just be relatively at the speed limit. Coming from my experience of a standard R34 GTR, this is truly leaps and bounds from that car in every single aspect. Whether it's the handling, the performance, that evokes so much emotion and sensation when you're behind the wheel. It's uncanny. These two cars couldn't feel more different, and I'm honestly shocked. I've always liked the R32 GTR Skyline more than the 34 because simply of the fact that it's just more raw and visceral and engaging. But since stepping into this car, it's changed my outlook completely. I know there's had a lot of money poured into this car, but it's just such an amazing car, this car. This is actually Matt's 4th R34 GTR, and this is really one of his dream cars, and loves to enjoy what this car has to offer, and rightfully so, because it was built so well and he's never had any issues with this car. At the end of the day, this car is still a very comfortable cruiser, and if you do intend on getting the groceries or taking it out for the daily commute, you wouldn't have any problems in this car whatsoever. It handles the bumps very well, and it's quite comfortable, really. This seat is very supportive, and I don't think that this car will be a chore to live with on a day-to-day basis, especially because the clutch is also very light. All the driving inputs are so lovely, and I really can't fault the driving experience that this car has to offer. And you know, it's still got an icy cold aircon, and everything is just right where you need it to be in this car. I'm really trying to find faults and negatives about this Minds GTR, but it's honestly rid from that. I know it sounds like I'm gushing and I'm talking about how much I love this car, but really, if you had 5 minutes behind the wheel of this car, you will know everything that I'm telling you about, because I just can't get enough of it, and honestly, I really don't want to give it back. It's just so bloody good. So as you guys probably know, values on R34 GTRs have reached astronomical prices, and that's purely because the US is almost able to import these cars as they reach the 25-year-old mark. Rightfully so, this is truly the cult classic of our generation, and if you love JDM cars, you'll know that this is the legendary R34 GTR, and make no mistake about it, this isn't any ordinary R34 GTR. This is the X-Minds demo car, and it's a V-SPEC 2 NUR, so it's got every single high-end component that is out on the market. And having a look at this car from the exterior, it just screams JDM from every single angle. It's got the Z-Tune body kit with the R-Tune bonnet. It just looks so right. All of the parts on the car amount to a ludicrous amount of money, but looking at this car, you can really appreciate everything's done to it. It looks so good, and I'd argue it's probably one of the best GTRs I have ever seen in my life. The Minds livery really bring out the race car aspect of this car, and normally they say to never meet your heroes because sometimes it just doesn't live up to the hype. But in this instance, with this Minds R34 GTR, it exceeds everything that I've ever hoped and dreamed of. It truly is the ultimate GTR. I really want to say a huge thank you to the owner Matt once again for letting me drive his pride and joy. This car has been an absolute blast. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And in the comments below. Tell me what you like about this R34 GTR X Mines demo car. And as well as that, consider subscribing to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. Please take care. Bye for now.